Welcome to Ubuntu Talks, where stories bridge gaps of generation, culture, and communities. I'm your host, Caroline Owashawa, and this episode will be tackling on my story, your story, our story for these community stories. In this specific episode, we will be focusing on newcomer parents, immigrants, and those communities that live in silence with neurodivergent children. And in today's episode, our guest is not just a mother, she's an advocate, a community influencer, but also a leader in neurodivergent communities. So, welcome with me, Kero.
Hi, how are you? All right, thank you for having me. It's a privilege to be on this platform today to share my story. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for joining us. And myself, I'm very privileged to host you today. And your story is very inspirational. And I believe it's going to be an inspiration to the listeners and those who are viewing. So, could you please kindly introduce yourself, who you are, where you are, and the journey you're taking, the mountains you're climbing? Thank you.
Okay, first, my name is Kelu Ogulaye. Amongst everything that I do, because I do a lot, I'm a mom. That's the most important job. Yes, I'm a mom. I have two beautiful kids, a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
I'm also an immigrant in Canada. We moved to Canada in 2018. Yeah, so it's been 6 years and a few months since we've been here. I still consider myself a newcomer because there's a lot to learn, and we've gone through a lot of challenges. We're still going through challenges. It's hard coming into a different country, especially from the African descent. There's so many cultural shocks that you're going to go through. And I don't even think the unfortunate thing, I don't think it lasts. I don't think it ends, rather. You know, you just have to learn to thrive in the process.
Oh, thank you very much. And I think talking about immigrants, I think it's always a journey that people need to know, like moving away from your country. So tell us more about your journey and your journey in advocacy, your journey as a mother. If you look back, what is that thing that you should have done differently when you arrived here? Something that you feel you should have known?
So, I don't think I would change anything, honestly, because when you come in as a newcomer, trust me, you're carrying a lot on you already. Yeah. So I like to encourage people to take it easy on themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people rush. They want to get a job, they want to go to school, they want to settle down immediately. It took you a while to make the decision to embark on this journey. It's not going to happen for you in a week, in a month, not even in a year. It's a whole lot of adjustments. So in my case, because everybody's story is different, I came here as a single parent and I was heavily pregnant. I was about 6 months pregnant when I came. So I couldn't do anything. I couldn't get a job. I had to be on welfare with my son, who was 5 years old at the time. So there's nothing I'm going to change. No, I'm not going to change anything because I had to go through the process. I started from the very beginning. If there's another word before beginning, maybe from the very bottom or from the scratch. So I went through all of that, having to live in a shelter, having to hustle for government housing. Then I was pregnant and I put to bed just 3 weeks when we arrived in Sudbury. We had nothing. There was no furniture. We were sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Interesting fact. Guess what? We were freezing our food in the snow.
Because
we had no fridge.
It
was horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrible. But so I went through, and I'm glad I went through all that because I didn't have the silver spoon. I didn't have the luxury. So now that I am settling, I'm saying settling because there's a lot to still unfold.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that I'm settling, I am appreciating all those humble beginnings. Yeah. So whatever I have now that seems like a big deal to the world, I want them to understand that I went through it. I earned it. It didn't come to me easily. So people should slow down. Give yourself grace. You will arrive. Whenever you wake up, is your morning.
Yeah,
Don't rush.
you're thankful. You give gratitude for what
I'm
happened
so
yesterday.
grateful. I can't even complain. No.
Your story is so inspiring. The fact that you talk about how you had to freeze your food
Yeah.
in
Oh
snow.
yeah. We freezed it in snow. We
That's
kept it there.
I've not heard about something like that, and I
Kept
think
it there.
that someone else must be there and should listening, like
Oh,
to
yeah.
learn from it. From that experience, what do you think about single parenting, being an immigrant in a new community, and what do you think other parents that are going through the same experiencing the same experiences like you can do?
So first of all, single parenting is not something that I'm proud of, because I don't want to encourage people to be like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it. It's not for everybody. They say you don't know how strong you are until being strong is the only thing you can do. In my own case, it was because I did not have a choice. So I believe in the structure of family. There is a reason why God created man and woman. There is a role for the father and there is a role for the woman. So if you can collaborate, get married, if you cannot get married, at least have that supportive partner in your life before you raise children, because these children did not ask to be born. So it takes two to tango. Whoever came up with that proverb, he knows what he or she was saying. It takes two to have effective relationship and raise kids. So if you're going to be bringing kids to this world, get it right. If you know you will not get it right, please leave them in heaven where they belong, or let somebody else pick them up.
Yes.
So first of all, single parenting is not something that should be encouraged. If you must have kids under any kind of excruciating circumstances that does not permit you to get married, because some people have decided they don't want to get married, then you must be strong enough. Like in my own case, I had to be strong enough to raise those kids and be ready to shoulder the responsibility of being the father and the mother. It is not easy.
Balancing work,
it is not
school,
easy. No.
like community, it's too much.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You're gonna break down a lot. You can look great, like I'm looking great right now, but in the corners of your room,
you think about
you will think about
it every day.
You will question yourself a lot.
Is there anything that you feel like that has worked for you and you feel that could also work for someone else who is experiencing the same?
First thing first, healing. The moment you understand what self-actualization and self-awareness is, you need to understand that first there's a problem, and then you're willing to work to get solution, and the solution is healing, because you're going to be mad at yourself, you're going to be mad at whoever put you in that situation, you're going to be mad at the world, and at the end of the day, it's just a total waste of your time. You have to work on yourself, for the sake of yourself and for the sake of your children as a single parent, if that is still what we're talking about. So you need to be mentally prepared for the journey. And this is not to say that after you've done the work of healing that you're not going to have triggers. No, you will have triggers every day. The world will test you. Devil himself will test you. Your own conscience will test you. But it is how you manage those triggers or how you respond to those triggers that matters. So it's a life journey and it is continuous. But management is the key here.
Management.
Oh yeah.
But also putting like self-priority, you giving yourself a
That's
priority.
the management. Those are strategies to manage your journey as a single parent.
Yeah. I get you. I just feel like your journey was hard but also full of life that was well planned. That strategy that was
I think God loves me. He was like, no, you can't go through this and not be blessed in some ways. So I think God loves me.
There is a saying that God does not place you in a position that he doesn't know that you cannot handle.
For sure.
Because he will always put you in a position full of challenges and you ask yourself, why am I here? But at the end of the day, you have to get away of getting out of it and sometimes he puts in that position so that you're able to support and help other people navigate the same system. Now this brings me closer to the support you're providing in the community. But just getting to closer, being a neurodivergent leader, what does that mean to you as a person?
Oh, so Queenie's Toy Library is a non-profit organization,
Yeah.
and it's a community that we are building to create a safe space for children who have developmental disabilities. If you've noticed, the rise in autism especially is high. There's so many kids who are struggling, and we don't even know the exact reason. The doctors will tell you, oh, it's probably, because they will not even say, categorically or affirmingly that it's in the genes. They could say it's probably in the genes. They would say, oh, it's toxins in the hair. So now everyone is doing plant-based or organic. A lot of people are staying away from harsh chemicals, even in the skincare, because toxins in the hair is severe pollution. And it could be in anything. It could be in the food we eat. It could be in our skincare. It could be even in the fabrics of our clothes because of the way it's made.
Yeah.
It could be in the products that we put in our hair or even the perfume that we wear. So sometimes it's hard to even know what is right.
Yes.
I go grocery shopping, sometimes I'm in the natural heart, I'm like, God. There's organic fall paper, there's organic plates, there's organic cutleries. I'm like, and it's expensive.
And then the environment itself, there is pollution.
There's pollution. So I buy all these organic things and then I come into the public and everybody is, I don't know if my organic whatever that I've bought is going to work.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, I'm mixing with people who don't get it, who are not doing the same thing as I'm doing. So sometimes it could be a waste of time.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
So just realizing that you're taking intervention to ensure that you break down the barriers to neurodivergency. What is that experience of working with those communities, working with parents, and yourself from your personal experience? How has it been?
It's a lot. Mentally, emotionally, it is draining. If you're working with vulnerable people, trust me, you're carrying their baggages. A lot of parents, a lot of parents struggle with accepting that their children have a disability. So sometimes you hear them say things like, oh, he would get over it, he will talk very soon. But what if he doesn't?
Yeah.
Because that can happen. What if he never speaks?
Yeah.
What are you doing while you're waiting for him to speak? Are you just going to sit down there and wait? And then this child is probably like 9 and 10, and that's when you wake up.
Yeah.
And then it might be too late.
So
the purpose of early intervention, which is the main thing that we do at Queenie's Toy Library, is to provide free resources to parents who cannot afford speech therapists, behavioral therapists, who need that extra support while they are waiting for a diagnosis, because the wait list for a diagnosis is unnecessarily too long.
Yeah.
Why do we have all these experts in the field, and why do these kids have to suffer? Have to wait 2 years. Some kids are on the wait list for 3 years before they get a diagnosis. So while they are waiting 3 years, what can they do? Whatever they can do is just way too expensive. One session of a speech therapy is at least $150.
And for how long? For how many hours?
For 45 minutes. And some children need at least 12 sessions.
Yeah.
And some children need longer depending on their needs.
True.
So, and then there's behavior therapy, because when a child cannot speak, of course, they would misbehave. That's the word the community uses, which is wrong, but they are frustrated. Imagine you not able to communicate your needs. You will be frustrated, you will be hungry, you will have emotional meltdown. So it's not the fault of the children. It's the fault of the system.
Yeah.
The system has to speed up the process. It's like somebody who has been diagnosed with cancer, and you're like, okay, they have to wait 3 years for chemotherapy. They're going to die.
Yeah, sure.
So if a child has a delay, Why does this child have to wait for 2 years, for 1 year to get a diagnosis?
Yeah, I think that's a challenge, and I think this is the time when we think of like stakeholders, and our big key player here is the government.
Oh yeah, it's the government.
It's the government.
It's the government.
Yes, understanding if the research is very clear and the evidence is there, people are living the experience. This is something they should give as a priority, and I think it's both. It's more of a community need, but also an advocacy issue.
It is, for sure. And it's so sad that it takes people like me, people like other advocates, to step up and do the job. You know, it shouldn't be this hard.
Yeah.
If there was a system in place that really cares for community, it shouldn't be hard. We shouldn't have to raise individuals to start a non-profit for what healthcare system should be doing. In a way, we are doing their jobs for them. We have to do it. We have to step up because there is a need for it.
Yeah, need for it. Just moving forward, when you talk about neurodivergent communities, it's beyond. This includes the parents, the community, and children who are experiencing or living the experience. What do you think can be done by both parties to support each other, as we also advocate like for the responsible entities to respond?
Yeah, let's call it a spade. A spade is a spade. The government.
The government, yes, to respond. And I think lastly, as an immigrant, what didn't you know about all these issues that you realize that later, oh, this is actually a symptom that I didn't know? Or how do you think it affects like newcomer and immigrant people?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Yes.
You see, all these things, if you look at it very well, they've been in existence from a very long time.
Yeah.
We just did not have a name for them. You know, there's a way you would look at a certain friend or a certain family member from maybe like 20, 30 years ago. There's one uncle or one auntie that is just very maybe radical in behavior, very aggressive in behavior, and
exactly.
You know, there's a word now. There's a word for it, and then we'll just call them. You're just too stubborn. You're too naughty. Why are you different from the rest? Yes, he or she is different from the rest because his brain is wired differently.
You're actually educating me because those are our common things that we used to see.
Yeah, and there's one mother somewhere that is always angry. It could be hormonal imbalance. It could be the fact that she's even autistic. All the years, all her life, she's probably been autistic, and she was just masking it because a lot of women can mask it.
Yeah.
In boys, it's more evident. In women, they can mask it, but then it becomes more evident after they start having children. Because of all the hormonal imbalance. As a mother, you give birth to a child, you have mood swings, you have postpartum depression, you have all these ovulation issues. It all amounts to your hormones, and then your hormone is up and down. Today you're happy, tomorrow you're sad. So it triggers the neurodivergent side of your brain as a mother, and then it becomes more evident. That's why you see now there is awareness. A lot of people are getting information and education regarding this, and they're getting themselves diagnosed.
Wow, thank you very much. I think you're already doing great. The fact that you're really supporting our community, supporting children, supporting the parents themselves. So how do we, as the community, come together to support you, to come also and have access to the services that you already have, but also putting in mind like how do we call upon other communities to come and work with you, especially like not for profit, to give you support, but also to support each other emotionally, psychologically, mentally, for the community to grow together.
Yeah, so first thing first, one of our core values is collaboration and partnership. Or as much as we want to collaborate, we also want to collaborate strategically. We have a vision and we want it to align with the visions of potential partners in the community. With that being said, we are open to creating a safe space for everyone. This is a safe space. There's privacy and there's confidentiality. for you to come to us is because you need support, and we will try our best. We don't give diagnosis. We don't have fundings for people to get money for whatever they need, but we have resources. We can connect families to the right resources that can help them or their children to thrive.
Wow, that's interesting. I think your story moves the mountain, like we say. Every day we climb the mountains, but we don't know which mountain will take us further. You are a star and a hero and a champion and a voice to those that, because you're a voice, because most of I know some people are raising children with developmental disabilities, and they're very silent. Sometimes they keep asking themselves, how do I handle, how do I put on, like you mentioned, like you're on the list for like you like
2 years, 3 years.
3 years. You have
it takes
to,
a long time.
a long time.
It takes a long
Only
time.
that time, even when you're just told that 3 years, it's so depressing itself.
It is depressing.
It's depressing because you don't know what will happen.
You don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then you're like stuck. So when I knew what I know now, I'm like, I have to share with the world, like, look, you don't have to struggle alone. You don't have to struggle. And these children can do well with the right support. I have colleagues at work who have autism.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. So I let people know that it's not the end of the world.
Exactly.
You know, when you have support and then you put the support strategically in place, these children will survive and they will thrive and they can do absolutely
anything they can do with anyone,
yeah.
As long as they know how to identify that issue. That's it. Yeah.
As long as you accept it. Acceptance is where I find a lot of immigrants have challenges with acceptance, and then the shame.
I used to have it, like, but I reached a level of acceptance. Now I'm on drawing the board. So I agree with you.
Thank you. Yeah, so acceptance, acknowledging that, okay, this is a thing. Then seeking for help or support, because it's one thing to know that, okay, there is an issue. It's another thing to address the issue in the way that it would give you the results that you're looking for. Then talking about newcomers or immigrants in relations to developmental disabilities or neurodivergence. In my own case, I think it became more evident after childbirth and having to go through all that I went through. So when I went back to university, it was one of my professors that found out that I think you need to get a diagnosis. I was skeptical about it, but as a social worker, I already knew there were signs. Sometimes because I'm in this field does not mean I'm perfect, right?
Yes.
I was also struggling with accepting it. So I know how people feel with acceptance.
Yes.
I struggled with acceptance. I was like, it's probably normal. It's because I'm an immigrant. I've been through a lot. I had to file for this. I have to get that document. I was pregnant. I came in pregnant. I was giving birth, blah, blah, blah. And I was raising a child and moving from one house to the other. Of course, I would struggle. Of course, I would have hyperactivity. Of course, I'm not able to focus. So we lie to ourselves based on the situation or whatever surrounding us. But then there's a thing.
There is a thing.
There is a thing.
So now I think now you bring me to the interesting part of your story and the transition as an immigrant woman. So when a professor says that you actually,
because it shows in my work in school. So I would write an assignment and I would digress a lot. And I was digressing so badly, like in my assignments, I was writing my personal experiences. I'm supposed to answer a question. I will answer the question. I'm like, in 2000, when I was so age, this didn't happen, blah, 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 blah. And I had no citations to it. I had no research to back it up. So it felt like a journal. So she was like, okay, there's something wrong somewhere.
There's something wrong about this.
So it's different with diagnosis for adults. in my own case, because I had the opportunity to be in university, we have the healthcare system in
Yeah.
the university. So you go there, they diagnose you. Within a few weeks, you get your results. So it's different from kids. Kids have to be
Yes.
on a wait list. I don't understand why. But for adults, you're working there. If you are a student, luckily you don't have to pay for it as a student.
Yeah.
So it's free for you. And then within a few weeks, you get your diagnosis. So I got my diagnosis. I have ADHD and a few other things that we will discuss when I'm not comfortable sharing.
Yes, yes.
But I'm comfortable sharing. And then when you talk about single parenting,
Yeah.
people need to understand that it's not just about, oh, somebody who was pregnated by a man and the man refused to collect the pregnancy, or that, oh, they were just having fun and they decided to have a television instead of a child. Whatever it is they were doing. But single parenting, on a serious note, could be from different reasons.
Yeah.
It could be as a result of a divorce, separation. It could be as a result of death of a spouse. It could be as a result of, I want to do IVF. I don't need a man. It could be as a result of adoption of a child. Some people have money and they don't get lucky with love, or they are like, okay, you know what? Being married is too dramatic for me. I'd rather just adopt a child and live my life. So there are different reasons, but then talking about being an immigrant,
Yeah.
maybe you were married back home and then you relocated with your children as a man or as a woman. Trust me, you're a single parent too. The fact that you did not come here, with your husband or with your wife, don't deceive yourself. You are married in paper, but you're a single parent. That's it, literally. And it's very isolating because a lot of people who are married cannot relate.
Yeah.
And this is not coming from a negative perspective. It's just the way life is. If I've not been in your shoes, I cannot relate. It's simple.
Yeah.
You have a support of a man or a woman in your house who helps you. Both of you have divided the task between you so that you can accommodate your children and train them properly. And there goes another man or woman who is doing it all alone,
Yes.
with 2 children or with 3 children. The experience is not the same. It's hard. It's emotionally draining. It's a lot.
True.
It's very isolating. So people do it, and luckily some of these people, their spouses have come to join them. Luckily, some people, that's not the situation. They have to move on with their life. Unfortunately, for some people, that's how their life is going to continue. Some people will get lucky and find love again and remarry, or just have a partner. Whatever your decision is, you are an adult, it's up to you. Yeah. As long as you're not offending anybody in the process,
and you're comfortable about
and you're comfortable with it, as long as you're not also doing what you're not supposed to be doing, you're being responsible with it, because you have children who are looking at you and they emulate everything that we do. So yeah, it's a very isolating, it's a very judgmental situation to be in. Trust me, because people just look at you and be like, you must be the reason why you're not in a relationship.
Yes.
Sometimes they just feel like you're the reason. It must be you for some reason, but you're the only one who knows your journey, and you do not owe anybody an explanation. The only people you should be aiming and striving for a good life for are your kids. Yeah, your kids.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hopefully, more parents will learn from it, especially the single parents. So it brings us to a question. Ubuntu. Ubuntu means I am because we are. How does that resonate with you, the work you do, and your personal story?
When I saw that slogan, it's a slogan, eh?
Yes.
Ubuntu, I am because
we
are. For me, in my own terms, how I perceive it is that it takes a village.
Yeah.
And you cannot do life alone. So God gave me this fantastic, beautiful idea of Queenie's Toy Library in November 2023. And I know that He has empowered me with the gift of people.
Wow.
To do it.
Yeah.
If it is by me alone, no, I cannot. I don't even have the mentality for strategic planning. I don't have the information to carry it out. No, but I have the idea, and God has blessed me with the fruits of people,
Yeah.
good people, such as our facilitators. We invite them and they come. These facilitators, the things that they share at our workshops
Yeah.
are things that they charge thousands of dollars for, hundreds and thousands. And then they come here to spend 2 hours, sometimes it's 3 hours, and they share for free. And you go home with a lifelong message or
Yeah.
strategy or tool.
Interesting.
You know, so I'm blessed with people like that who understand the vision and whose vision aligns with ours. That's why we do collaborative partnership, and then with volunteers who spend their time to help us.
Yes.
Whenever we have events, they are there for us. You see them cleaning, you see them carrying stuff from the car. If I'm the only one, will I be looking fine? Like, there's no way.
You'll be carrying
You know,
heavy stuff.
they carry the stuff, they set it up, and we are done, and then they clean up, and they are there to help parents or to even mind children. We have certified childcare educators who do the child minding while the parents are in the workshop. They are there in the other room, you know, looking after the children so that the parents can focus. So I am because we are. It is our idea. It is our organization.
It's ours.
It is our own.
Me too. I'm part of it.
Yeah, part of it.
Yes.
It's been there for us.
So
it's our own.
It's our thing, and I think I just love that. So moving forward, what is our vision of for Queen's Toy Library? Where do you see it going, and moving forward strategically in the years to come?
Major thing for us right now is to have our own space. A space that is all encompassing. And when I say all encompassing, we want to create it like a proper toy library. We want a playroom. We want to have a meeting room where we have our workshops. We want to have a sensory room, you know, where children can just come in, drop in, and then they onboarding that sensory overload, because children with autism, ADHD, mood disorder, whatever it is, the name is, they have sensory overload. So sensory overload is like when there's too much for them that they cannot handle. There's this calm, safe space where they can just go to and relax. It's like when we had us go to the spa for massage. You know that feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how they feel.
I also one time, like for the first time in my life, I felt like I just need to be alone, and then I wanted to move in a park, sit, not talking to anyone, and then just feel, and then just keep looking at nature. And I was like, oh, what's happening to me? I'm a changed person.
It's the power of nature on you now.
Yes, so I just get it. Yeah, it's the space is good for you.
Oh yeah, we do need that space, because it's also it helps us, it helps the parents for the purpose of consistency and stability. So if we have our own space, we don't have to move around looking for space. We have that challenge. Sometimes we want to book the library, someone is faster than us, they've taken it, then we have to look for another place. So the struggle of looking for a space, then sometimes we have the capacity of like 40 participants, and the space that is available is for 20. Should we tell the other 20 that they cannot come in?
Yeah.
But when we have our own place, we have a room, we can you know, improvise and reset and rearrange to accommodate as many people as possible.
And you know even how to manage it, how to organize, and when to have activity. Like you said, sometimes things are not planned, they turn out, and it becomes so easy for you. So I agree with you, darling. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you. I'll call you Honorable.
Hey,
Queen's Library.
Yay.
For coming to talk to us.
Ubuntu
Talks was blessed to have you today in this talk show. But remember, this is where we bridge the gaps between generation, culture, and communities. And we'll continue to learn from you. And viewers, please don't forget to learn more from Queen's Toy Library by getting into Instagram, same name, LinkedIn, same name, Facebook, same name.
Yeah, same name, Queen's Toy Library.
Yeah.
You find us, just put us on Google.
And then you can get the full story at Ubuntu Talks YouTube, and everything's gonna be tagged to Queen's Toy Library And thank you for listening in. And let's keep stronger and build communities together.
For sure. Thank you so much for having me. Such a honor. I feel so blessed.
Thank you very much.